of you own animals? And how many people do you know own animals? Did you know that 1 million animals are killed and abused each year within the United States? However, this number even rises to 100 million worldwide. And of these cases, only 1 out of 10 is ever reported. The problem of animal abuse begins with recognition, and then people can begin to take action. Imagine being born into a state of abuse with no chance of getting saved or getting help unless someone comes to your rescue. This is the reality for 4.3 puppies born into puppy mills each year. Spot's website states that 70% of puppy mills operate illegally and only half of puppies make it past 12 weeks. This was the reality for Rebel. Luckily, my family was able to adopt Rebel at 5 weeks old after his puppy mill was found out and his abusers paid the consequences for their crimes. However, this is a rare occurrence, and often the abuser is able to operate in this for years without being caught. Normally, abuse like this leads to the euthanization of dogs. Shelter Animals Count states that my home state, Mississippi, has the highest kill rate in shelters at 18%. This is why this subject is dear to me. Animal abuse is constant and reoccurring, and although we cannot change the past of animal abuse, the present and future rests in our hands. Today, my team will be speaking on 4 charities: SPCA of East Texas, ASPCA, World Animal Protection, and the Humane Society of the United States. All of these charities show how people can get involved and fight against animal abuse. First, we must begin by talking about the history of animal abuse. Crate Free USA states that between 500 BC and 500 AD, animals were used intensively for their power. They were used in times of war, such as horses carrying soldiers in battle, and even used for weapons of war. Here I have a slide showing how animals such as horses were used in war in history. Animal well-being was not prioritized in the past. However, we have a chance and opportunity to change that today. With the development of civilization, animal abuse is being recognized more often, and this is a step in the right direction. Now that we have looked in the past of animal abuse, it is time to look at the present state of this problem. Animals are abused in many ways, including exploitation, research, neglect, and physical. Today, over 200,000 animals are abused and exploited within zoos, circuses, and aquariums. Petpedia website states that 70% of zoos and aquariums are abusing their animals and exploiting them for human gain. Here I have a picture of animals in circuses that are being exploited, and also a chart of number of animals used in research in the U.S. Research is an active problem within animal abuse today. Facilities take animals from their wild habitat and use them for human gain. Product testing is common and is not ethical, but often places are able to hide this and keep from paying the consequences. Shelter Animal Count states that over 110 million animals are killed in U.S. laboratories today. Physical abuse is the most extreme case of animal abuse. However, a study from Arizona State University states that neglect is the most common. However, neglect is the one that is reported the least. Abusers are often able to get away with this crime through many dogs and other animals. The laws against animal abuse, however, are slim, and this is often because law enforcement only can go by human word unless there's direct evidence leading to the crime. 25% of countries have welfare laws against animals, and only 50% of U.S. states have felony penalties for animal cruelty. If the consequence for this offense is not threatening, where will the abuser go next? Now that we've discussed the history and present condition of animal abuse, it's time to look at an outlook on the problem. The future of animal abuse is not only going to affect animals, but also humans. Animal abuse has been directly linked to domestic violence and child abuse. American Humane states that 70% of domestic violence victims have experienced animal abuse from their abuser. And also, animal cruelty is present in 88% of families being investigated for child abuse. Here is a chart of the animal cruelty exposure. As you can see, the highest with 33% severe domestic violence, and they have often also witnessed animal abuse by their abuser. The link between animal and human abuse is clear. So how do we combat such a large, not only national, but worldwide problem? Today, my team will talk about 4 charities that are looking to end this. And the first charity that will be talked about is SPCA of East Texas by Dylan Burks. So in conclusion, animal abuse is not a problem that will resolve itself, and we must make a change for the future. Today we have talked about SPCA of East Texas, ASPCA, World Animal Protection, and the Humane Society of the United States. These are 4 charities that anyone can get involved in and fight animal cruelty. I will leave you with a thought. Today, my team has spoke for around 20 minutes. Likewise, 1 animal is abused every 60 seconds. Therefore, just while you were listening today, 20 animals were abused. It is our duty to make this number decrease and eventually get this number to 0. Imagine if all animals could live in the comfort of safety. I encourage you all to be advocates and fight against animal abuse.